In a bold and candid moment, Caitlin Clark has stepped into the spotlight, declaring, "I'm risking everything to share this with you." As one of the brightest stars in women's basketball, Clark is known for her fearless play and unwavering determination on the court. Now she's opening up about the challenges she faces, the stakes involved, and her commitment to using her platform for something greater. This isn't just another athlete's statement. It's a call to action that speaks to the heart of what it means to be a role model in today's world. What truths will she unveil? And how will her story resonate with fans and aspiring athletes alike? Let's dive into her powerful message and the reasons behind her courageous choice.
Offensively, our defense wasn't very good, so I think just improving in that area and just all kind of gathering our emotions a little bit better and finding better shots. I thought we kind of stopped playing in a way that made us successful in the first half, so just a good learning opportunity for us. I feel like we could have played a lot better, but yeah, I think there's a line, and sometimes your passion, your emotion can get to you. But
Caitlin Clark has emerged as a transformative figure in women's basketball, captivating fans with her extraordinary talent and fierce competitive spirit. From her early days on the court to her current status as a standout player at the University of Iowa, Clark's journey is a testament to her hard work, dedication, and the risks she's willing to take to inspire others. Growing up in West Des Moines, Iowa, Clark was introduced to basketball at a young age. Her love for the game was evident early on, as she spent countless hours honing her skills at local gyms and parks. Her parents recognized her potential and encouraged her passion, ensuring that she had access to quality coaching and competitive opportunities.
I'm super proud of her, but I think she does a lot of things for us that don't show up in the box score too. Like, she's all over the floor. I mean, she guards their best player all night, so I'm just really proud of her. She's our X factor, so let's.
As a result, Clark quickly became a standout player in her youth leagues, drawing attention for her exceptional shooting ability and court vision. By the time she reached high school, Clark was already a household name in Iowa basketball circles.
As a scorer, like when you see a couple go down like that, like you just have all the confidence in the world. The basket looks really big, so I know exactly how she felt. Like she was just in the zone. Like, and really, they played good defense multiple times. Like there's just nothing you can do in those situations where she's making step back threes, one-legged floaters, things like that. Like you literally cannot guard it. And like I said on the broadcast,
Playing for Dowling Catholic High School, she led her team to a state championship and broke numerous records along the way. Her scoring ability was jaw-dropping. She was known for her deep three-point shooting and her knack for making clutch shots in high-pressure situations. By the time she graduated, she was not only a state champion, but also a highly sought-after recruit, earning scholarships from numerous top-tier college programs.
yeah, I thought we could have executed a little bit better there at the end. Like we got that 8-point lead, and then I had a few turnovers that can't happen, and didn't execute offensively during that last minute, but made plays when we needed to. This team always puts up a lot of points on us, but I'm glad we got the win. They're really good offensively.
In 2020, Clark chose to attend the University of Iowa, a decision that would significantly shape her career and impact on women's basketball. The opportunity to play for head coach Lisa Bluder and alongside talented teammates excited her. From her first game, it was clear that Clark was ready to make an impact.
Caitlin Clark does is kind of simple, really. She shows up at games, she signs autographs, she talks to little girls wearing jerseys, she smiles to the crowd, and then here's the most important thing. She competes like a maniac. I mean, like a maniac.
She takes over, she maestros, she controls game after game after game with her passing and her carefully chosen spots to score.
Diana Taurasi knows how to get Brittany Griner the ball on the inside more than anyone else on the team does. Like, there's no way as a professional athlete you can sit here and completely discount what team chemistry and player chemistry stands for and what that means.
Her debut season was nothing short of spectacular. She quickly established herself as one of the best players in the nation. As a freshman, Clark made headlines with her performances, leading the team in scoring and assists. She became the first Iowa player to win the Big Ten Freshman of the Year award, a testament to her skill and potential. But it wasn't just her numbers that caught attention. It was her style of play.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300.
That could do what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
Clark brought a level of flair and confidence to the court that resonated with fans and drew comparisons to some of the NBA's biggest stars. Her ability to shoot from deep range, create her own shot, and make plays for her teammates was reminiscent of the skills exhibited by players like Stephen Curry.
Can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair. Like, she's a performer. It's crazy, though, just because her shot is it's like that. It's at that level.
So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years.
However, with success came scrutiny. As Clark's profile rose, so did the expectations. She quickly became a focal point of media attention, with fans eager to watch her every move. This visibility came with pressure, but Clark was determined to stay focused on her game and the impact she wanted to make.
Any other player we have ever seen in the women's game, and it starts with the distance with which she shoots the basketball. We've never seen a player shoot from that deep range with that kind of efficiency.
Caitlin Clark is starting to push Asia Wilson for MVP of this league, and I am not exaggerating. She is starting to push Asia as the best player in the league because I don't see anybody control a game the way Caitlin can.
She often spoke about the responsibility she felt as a female athlete to represent her sport and inspire the next generation of girls to pursue their dreams. Despite the pressure, Clark continued to excel. Her sophomore season saw her elevate her game even further. She led Iowa to impressive victories and garnered numerous accolades, including All-American honors.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. I thought we came in here and we competed hard. That was the thing. Like, we knew they were going to want to win, so we came out with the same mindset of wanting to win. I think we were down 2 at halftime, and I thought we started the third quarter really strong, and that's what kind of set the tone for that whole second half. And then never hurts when Enrique gets really hot like that. It's just kind of like give her the ball and let her do her thing.
Her performances in the NCAA tournament were particularly noteworthy. She consistently delivered in crucial moments, showcasing her ability to rise to the occasion when it mattered most. In one memorable game, Clark scored 40 points against a top-ranked opponent, demonstrating not just her scoring ability, but also her mental toughness and resilience.
She's having impact on her team that nobody else in the league is having on her team. This is a team that went 13-27 last year. And suddenly, the Indiana Fever are the hottest team by far in the league.
This performance solidified her status as one of the elite players in college basketball and drew admiration from fans and analysts alike. Yet, amidst the accolades, Clark remained grounded, often crediting her teammates and coaches for their support.
The biggest reason that she's popular is it's the Steph Curry syndrome. She looks a lot like the girl who's out shooting hoops next door, and she plays like we are all capable of playing.
As she continued to navigate the demands of college basketball, Clark also became increasingly aware of the challenges facing women in sports.
I'm talking about gifted, LeBron-esque, two-handed, full court, touchdown pass kind of passing, the likes of which I don't see in the WNBA.
Despite the growing popularity of women's basketball, disparities in coverage funding, and opportunities remained prevalent. This realization ignited a fire within her, a desire to advocate for change and use her platform to elevate the women's game. In a heartwarming and emotional turn of events, Caitlin brings out a man who saved her life, and his story is nothing short of inspiring. As the two reunite on stage, the man reveals a series of touching and unexpected details that will leave you speechless. What begins as a moment of gratitude quickly turns into a powerful testimony of courage, compassion, and the incredible impact one person can have on another's life. What he shares will tug at your heartstrings and remind you of the beauty of human connection. Prepare for an emotional journey you won't soon forget.
I mean, I think I could have done a little bit better job controlling my own emotions, but I think it just started bad for us and then continued to snowball, and that's something we have to control a little bit better. Not only did we not execute on the offensive end in the third quarter, but I thought they destroyed us offensively. Our defense wasn't very good, so I think just improving in that area and just all kind of gathering our emotions a little bit better and finding better shots. I thought we kind of stopped playing in a way that made us successful in the first half, so just a good learning opportunity for us. I feel like we could have played a lot better. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a line, and sometimes your passion, your emotion can get to you, but...
Caitlin Clark, the rising star in women's basketball, has captured the hearts of fans across the globe with her electrifying performances on the court and her charismatic personality off it. From her incredible scoring ability to her undeniable leadership, Clark has become a fan favorite, not only for her talent,
splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up.
but for the way she embodies the passion, grit, and determination that sports lovers admire. Fans first fell in love with Caitlin Clark's game because she is quite simply a once-in-a-generation player. Known for her jaw-dropping range and fearless shot-making, she can sink three-pointers from nearly anywhere on the court.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. I thought we came in here and we competed hard. That was the thing. Like, we knew they were going to want to win, so we came out with the same mindset of wanting to win. I think we were down 2 at halftime, and I thought we started the third quarter really strong, and that's what kind of set the tone for that whole second half. And then never hurts when Enrique gets really hot like that. It's just kind of like give her the ball and let her do her thing.
Every time she steps onto the hardwood, spectators are glued to their screens, waiting to see what magic she'll create next. Her combination of scoring, passing, and rebounding abilities has made her a dynamic force, and she consistently puts up numbers that rival the best in both the men's and women's game. The fans have been captivated by her high basketball IQ and her ability to break down defenses effortlessly, making her games must-watch events. What stands out to fans, beyond the sheer skill, is the way Clark plays the game. There's a fire and competitiveness in her that fans can't help but be drawn to. She plays every game as if it's her last, showing an unwavering commitment to her team, Iowa, and to her craft.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
Whether she's rallying her team in a close game or dominating from the tip-off, Clark exudes a level of intensity and dedication that fans admire deeply. It's that relentless pursuit of excellence that makes her so beloved. Despite her star power, what endears Caitlin Clark to her fans is how humble and down-to-earth she remains.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
No one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
No one cares what skin color you are. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We love.
In interviews, she consistently credits her teammates and coaches, acknowledging that her success is a result of their support and hard work. She never comes across as someone consumed by the fame or attention, but instead as an athlete who loves the game and is grateful for the opportunities it has given her. Fans appreciate her genuine nature.
There's nothing, Shannon. You just want to support that white girl. She busting y'all ass. If you like Caitlin Clark, you gotta hate Angel. And if you love Angel, you can't say anything good about Caitlin Clark. Y'all can't tell me what the F to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah. Whether she's signing autographs, engaging with supporters on social media, or staying after games to greet young fans, Caitlin makes time for those who cheer her on. She's approachable and authentic, qualities that have endeared her to people beyond the basketball world. The fans love that. Despite her incredible achievements, she remains grounded and focused on improving her game while making a positive impact off the court.
I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is. It's really because you can be the top notch at what you do as a black woman, but maybe there's something that people don't want to see, Wilson said to the Associated Press.
Caitlin Clark's journey has inspired countless young athletes, particularly young girls, who see in her a role model who proves that they too can excel in sports. Fans admire not only her athleticism, but also her work ethic and determination.
The biggest reason that she's popular is it's the Steph Curry syndrome. She looks a lot like the girl who's out shooting hoops next door, and she plays like we are all capable of playing.
It's no secret that Clark has put in the hours, countless hours in the gym, refining her shooting, improving her defense, and studying the game. Her commitment to constant improvement is something that resonates with fans who see her as someone who worked hard to reach the top and continues to push the limits of what she can achieve.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300.
That could do what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
For young fans, especially those who dream of playing basketball at a high level, Clark represents what's possible. She's shown that it's okay to be ambitious, to want to be the best, and to set lofty goals. She's the epitome of the phrase, dream big, and her success story has encouraged others to follow their own paths with passion and perseverance. Whether it's her stellar performances or her thoughtful engagement with the media, Caitlin has become a symbol of what's great about the game and why women's sports matter. Caitlin Clark's competitiveness is another aspect that fans love. She's a player who hates to lose and wears her emotions on her sleeve.
Caitlin Clark now has the rookie record, the history of the WNBA. She's now going to try to set the all-time record, but 12 games to go. Now, this is happening exactly how I scripted it. I think that was lost on a lot of people. Watch her play. She plays at a high level, highly skilled. She's the best passer in America, and she's the best shooter in America.
Whether she's pumping her fist after a clutch three-pointer or firing up her teammates during a tough stretch, her passion is contagious. Fans love watching someone who cares so deeply about the game and gives everything they have, game after game. Her leadership on the court, even at a young age, is something fans admire.
I just love that she tries to stay grounded, and she says she doesn't. What did she say? She doesn't have a social. She doesn't look at her social, and I get it. I don't either, and I think it's so important to continue to do what she's doing, and no matter what other people do, then if people are negative, it's because they can't do what you do.
She doesn't shy away from the spotlight or from taking responsibility in high-pressure situations. When the game is on the line, you can see her eyes light up.
That's really exciting. It's not surprising. I think it was important that, we valued ourselves in this negotiation.
Rookie of the Year, Kelton Clark and Cheryl Reeve, recently partnered for a big TV deal that can change the WNBA.
In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal.
They have maintained a strong commitment to covering women's sports over the years, unlike other media in our market.
I think your commitment through the years in covering women's sports is not shared by, the broader media in our market.
Their social media game is improving our coverage, but they've still got more ground to cover.
We've improved our coverage in our market for sure, but it is not at the level that it should be at this point, given the magnitude of the events that we have had, whether it's WNBA championships, multiple times, and whether it's when we hosted the All-Star game, whatever it is. And so, we've got another step to go. I'm really hopeful that the current events in covering women's sports, how things are changing very rapidly, that our market is one that will grab a hold and share your passion for it.
The USA experience was the catalyst for her career trajectory. That was a turning point that launched her career.
Yeah, I think Kaz, the epitome of a career trajectory, in that her first USAB experience, was one in terms of where she was at in the league, that, it was typical first experience. She had a lot to learn, a lot to figure out.
She kicked off her WNBA journey and ended up snagging the MVP in the finals.
But she started figuring that out in the WNBA, obviously, as we know, with, culminating in an MVP in the finals. And she just keeps growing. She's got a great work ethic, great passion for the game. And so I think it's notable. I think, like you said a little bit later in her career, I think that's notable for players, that they understand. We were just having this conversation that it may not be your time when you're younger. Maybe there's just people at your position. Maybe you still have a little bit to add to your game, whatever it is. And, being patient in that process.
Recognizing our value was key in this negotiation, making sure we held our ground.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's not surprising. I think it was important that, we valued ourselves in this negotiation. It's certainly helpful to have this rookie class, led by Caitlin, who, is sort of driving, the media, the interest, the business.
Cheryl's making sure she knows what the WNBA's got in store for the beginning of the season.
And so I think making sure that, I said this in the beginning of the season, what can the WNBA do? We can take advantage and not sell ourselves short. And also have a vision for the future, where this league is headed, like all pro sports leagues that we have seen, NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL. There is an evolution to a sports league, and we're in our evolution. This is our moment to take that next step.
According to Caitlin, Cheryl's a trailblazer in the sport, and just a really cool individual.
I think obviously Cheryl, she's like one of the pioneers of our game and just an awesome individual. Like her personality just radiates, like being around her, it just makes you smile. Like she's just such a cool human. So for her to get to coach us, like super exciting for me. I was super excited when I heard that news. Like just a great opportunity to be around somebody that's given so much to this game and to get to enjoy this, my first experience with her, honestly. It's awesome, and to be a part of this, like to see it grow, it's super special. I'm happy for the players that have been in this league for a really long time to have moments like these and opportunities like these, because they've deserved it. It's been a long time coming, but honestly, like I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Like you said, the 2 expansion teams that already announced and are going to be coming over the course of the next 2 years, like that's only going to help the league grow. It's going to get more eyeballs, get us into new markets. The new media rights deal, that's going to help. So it's just, day by day, year by year, like it's only going to continue to get better, and it's going to give people an opportunity to see how good women's basketball is.
One of the greatest competitors that the league or women's basketball has ever seen, or sports have ever seen. One of the all-time greatest competitors. It's a player that we have loved to hate as an opponent, but that means you are really, really doing something great. She's done it all in big games, won us big games, makes big shots. Her level of compete, her understanding of the game, what should happen, her understanding of her teammates, how to put them in position to be successful.
It's truly fascinating to delve into everything that's been happening in the WNBA recently, from the standout performances on the court to the impactful social initiatives off the court.
Did you guys see this note? It's really interesting what's happened to the WNBA. In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal. They're still going to lose money this year doing the charter flights. I think putting cart before horse is a little bit much, but the Caitlin Clark effect is real. It just is. And the latest sign is that they got 3.44 million people watched the WNBA All-Star Game on ABC, topping the previous record of 1.44 million. So 2 million more people watched the WNBA All-Star Game, in which the WNBA All-Stars beat Team USA. Anyway, 2 million more people watched. And I mean, I can't equate every one of those 2 million people to be because of Caitlin Clark. Her whole act, her whole bravado is so it's not just unbecoming of somebody who's a coach, but your job when you're USA basketball, the coach USA basketball, like you're a champion of the game. You're growing the game, and there just isn't there's a coach speak code that everyone knows, and she refuses, and it shows her what has to be an insecurity, right? She feels like Shooter McGavin. That's what she feels like. I was too busy winning.
Caitlin took the worst team in the WNBA, had a rough start in the first year, and now they're actually competitive.
Like, all right, dude, but she took the worst team in the WNBA. They're terrible to start the year, and now they're competitive. And oh yeah, by the way, she's really good, and people care. They want to watch her play. And when put in a situation where you have better players around her, she becomes a facilitator. Like, I don't understand what her deal is other than some massive, massive insecurity. And as we've said before, she is the embodiment of what's wrong with what's hard with women in the workplace, is that the biggest challenge, biggest hurdle for women to get over in the workplace is other women.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road? What? 15,300. Wow. Okay? 15,300. Do you know what Caitlin Clark just got the contract from Nike?
Nike.
You know what the contract is?
I want to say it's $3 million a year for 8 to 10 years. It's almost $30 million, something like that.
Right there. Look at this. Caitlin Clark gets 15,591 fans in attendance, 105% increase compared to the average game is 76.45. Can you pull up what Caitlin Clark just got? What is the Nike contract with Caitlin Clark? Nike contract, $28 million is what the contract is. Okay? This is WNBA is paying Caitlin Clark $28 million. Good for freaking you. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We absolutely love one thing. You know what it is? Underdogs. Caitlin Clark is an underdog. We don't care if it's WNBA. We don't care if it's the UFC and they said, Dana, you'll never make it. We don't care if it's a presidential candidate. We don't care if it's a comedian. We don't care if it's a businessman. We don't care if it's a podcaster. We don't care if it's a fighter. We don't care if it's anything. We don't care about your color. We don't care if you're married, single, divorced. We don't care about anything. We love humble underdogs. We just do. We love an underdog that comes in, that's got a fight, that wants to go out there and do it. And Caitlin Clark's doing it. And she's getting all these eyeballs. And I'm so happy for her to get the 28 flipping million.
A lot of people there in the arena, like just for a draft watch party, like that's pretty incredible. So awesome. I can't wait to get there and actually be playing games. I know it'll be a packed crowd.
You can always tell when it's a home game day for the Fever because downtown Indy gets flooded with the number 22.
Caitlin Clark just dropped the news. She's officially part of the WNBA now.
A huge headline tonight in women's basketball. Record-breaking Iowa Hawkeyes star Caitlin Clark has announced she's entering the WNBA draft this year. And it's big news here in Indianapolis because the Indiana Fever hold the #1 pick in that draft.
And Clark is skipping her final season of eligibility to go pro. Just last week, Iowa played at IU in Bloomington, and this was the line to see her at Assembly Hall.
Caitlin's presence on the court draws crowds wherever she goes.
Honestly, I think it's super special, and sitting at the table, kind of obviously knowing where I'm going, you still get a little bit anxious when the commissioner walks out and says your name. It's something you dream of, like it's a moment I've dreamed of since I was in 2nd grade, and be there with my family at the table was amazing, and to share it with them was super special.
Indiana Fever just scored big with the 2023 WNBA Rookie of the Year already in their lineup.
And now the dreams of Indiana Fever fans coming true today. This announcement's a huge deal for the Indiana Fever, who already have 2023 WNBA Rookie of the Year Aaliyah Boston on their roster now.
And the Fever hold the #1 pick in this year's draft.
There is a fervent expectation that Indiana will choose Caitlin Clark to lead their charge.
It's widely expected that they will go with Clark. And as Fox 59's Eric Graves shows us, basketball fans are already excited about the idea of adding her to the roster.
Caitlin. Indianapolis ready to welcome the best player in college hoops to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. We were at the NFL Combine Experience today talking to fans about football, and they had plenty to say about the future of Fever basketball, too.
Even though she's not yet a WNBA player, Caitlin has done so much for women's basketball.
Breaking records
for history,
selling out crowds, and balling out. That's what Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark does.
She's a star already, and she's not even a professional on that level yet.
Caitlin has smashed some records and left her mark in the history books.
She's rewritten record books over her 4 years at Iowa, now owning the NCAA women's scoring record and creating new fans of women's basketball along the way.
I haven't really followed a lot of women's basketball up until this year.
I've never seen a player like that. Really, she's incredible.
Wherever Caitlin hits the court, you can bet the seats will be filled.
Home or away, Clark has been selling out venues across the country this year, including Assembly Hall just a few weeks ago.
Just has this energy that everyone's just kind of attracted to and drawn to.
An intensity that fans of all ages love.
Do you like watching Caitlin Clark?
Yes! The Indiana Fever have had the top pick in this year's WNBA draft for a while now, but it was Clark with the question mark. Would she stay in school for another year or turn pro?
Listen up. Caitlin Clark has something to announce.
Thursday night, she made the announcement.
Caitlin Clark announced she's going to declare for the WNBA draft.
Did she? I didn't hear that. Oh, that's fantastic.
Clark's decision puts her on a collision course with the Fever at #1, giving fans plenty to talk about.
It'll sort of add some energy to female sports.
I think it's going to change the landscape for the Fever.
Nothing is set in stone, but Fever legend Tamika Catchings posted on X welcoming Clark to the Fever, and Clark liked the post. Fans already comparing her to Indiana hoops greats.
That would be phenomenal, following behind Tamika Catchings and some of the other ones that have already been here.
She'll be the Reggie Miller of the Fever, is what we hope.
Over to the WNBA, where the Indiana Fever introduced the first overall pick from Monday's draft, Caitlin Clark. Her resume is as long as the three-pointer she drained while helping lift women's hoops to unprecedented popularity. Take a listen to the top overall pick. It's new on SportsCenter.
I can't think of a better place for myself to start my career, a place that loves basketball, supports women's basketball, and an organization that really does things the right way. I'm just very thankful that they have a belief in me. I was just ready for a new challenge and something new in my life. Felt like I kind of had done everything at Iowa that I possibly could, and we did a lot of amazing things, but to be able to come here and stay in the Midwest, you can't script it any better. I hated playing at Indiana, and they hated me, so hopefully a lot of them turn into Indiana Fever fans, but I mean, they hated me for good reason. It's a hard place to win at, and there's going to be learning curves for me. I'm not going to come out here and score
40 points a game. Like, that's not what I'm going to do. I think it's just, learning from the amazing people that I have around me and having a lot of fun, but also, like, don't lose who I am. Like, that's what's got me to this point. Continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
This game was really a springboard to see the all-star list of constellations in the WNBA. Take us inside your thoughts.
Caitlin Clark brings excitement to people who are watching the game.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about all these eyes that Caitlin Clark brings, right? I know there are so many Caitlin Clark fans for good reason. She broke a WNBA record in tonight's game with 19 assists to go along with 20-plus points. What Caitlin is doing is amazing, but there are so many other talented pieces around her, and that's the best part. When you watch Caitlin shine, what else do you get to see? Aaliyah Boston have 28 points, and then even on the opposite side, you start to fall in love with opponents as well, and those players like Arike Agumbawale and Odyssey Sims, who had 24 points each, or Natasha Howard, who's a forward who had 8 assists. All the players for the Dallas Wings, even JC Sheldon, who's a rookie alongside Caitlin Clark, knocked down some big-time threes. So all these eyes on Caitlin puts all the eyes on the rest of the league that is filled with so much talent, and that's the best part. For any Indiana Fever game, you're seeing Caitlin, of course, in the talented Indiana team, but you're seeing everybody.
No question. Let's take a look and keep our eyes on what may happen moving forward. Next Indiana win, they're going to match last season's win total. Dallas is sitting there at the bottom of the WNBA standings right now with Washington, but you say fortifications are coming. Take us inside the second half for both of these teams.
I see Indiana firmly in, and even possibly winning a playoff series or two. I don't think they have enough to win a WNBA championship, but they're already, in my opinion, light years ahead of where I thought they would be, and they're not even close to their ceiling. Like, this team and this season, as they put seasons like this together, this can be a team that hangs another banner, and I know Indiana fans would absolutely love that. I see them in the playoffs solid.
You can always tell when it's a home game day for the Fever because downtown Indy gets flooded with the number 22.
Just go down the street and you're seeing 22 shirts everywhere.
The number that belongs to the one and only Caitlin Clark.
I'm really happy I got to see her today. Yeah. It was like a dream come true.
Her star power was on full display against the New York Liberty when Clark made history, not only for herself as a rookie, but for her team when she hit a triple-double, electrifying the crowd.
Here are some comments from people about Caitlin Clark. Have a look.
It's historic. It was pretty awesome. We're big Iowa fans, so we've been watching her for years, and it was great to see her live.
It was pretty surreal because we were watching TV, I think, the game before, and she got really close to it. I think she was like a couple of rebounds away, and I didn't think that I would actually be at the first one, but here we are.
It felt really exciting that my favorite basketball player made her first triple-double.
We've been following her since last season with Iowa, but seeing her do what she did on the court today, that was actually really amazing.
Not to mention, the Caitlin Clark effect is changing the game overall.
What she has done for the sport of basketball and what she has done for women's sports, period, it's amazing.
The WNBA, the professional league, is it's growing amazing. I just can't believe they're selling out, and I love it. It's awesome.
Go Fever, let's go! Triple-double, first rookie! Fans have been traveling across the country for Fever games, and for some, it's their first introduction to a feeling Hoosiers have known forever.
There's some kind of camaraderie, I think everybody feels it. Like I said, it feels electric, like something big is going to happen.
How long was your drive?
7 hours.
7 hours. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
I've been enjoying watching Fever basketball since Tamika catches, so just to have this up war again, in the city is very lovely.
In a heated exchange, sports commentator Dan Patrick recently lost his cool on Cheryl Swoops after she expressed criticism toward Caitlin Clark, the rising star of women's college basketball. The interaction became a focal point of discussion in the sports community as Patrick defended Clark's talent and impact on the game, while Swoops, a legendary figure in women's basketball, voiced her concerns. The clash between these two prominent figures highlights the growing tension and differing opinions surrounding Clark's meteoric rise in the sport.
Caitlin Clark now has the rookie record, the history of the WNBA, as she's now going to try to set the all-time record, but 12 games to go. Now, this is happening exactly how I scripted it. I told you this is going. They loaded up the schedule, front loaded, Caitlin Clark on a bad team, the worst team, because they drafted her, number one. They were going to load up against better competition, and she played an entire college basketball season, and she didn't play well. And I said at the time, she didn't deserve to be on the Olympic team. And at the time, I felt that. But she got rest, the schedule not as demanding, and now you're seeing Caitlin Clark. And for everybody who talked about, she's just a shooter, she's already set the all-time rookie assist record. For somebody who's the greatest scorer in college basketball history, and she is an incredible... See, I think that was lost on a lot of people. Her ability to be able to find the open person